Hello, welcome back to another episode of Somewhere Between a Film and TV podcast. We are your hosts. I am Daniel Plara.
And I'm Erwin Trejo.
And number one, thank you so much for listening and watching. Number two, what are they going to do?
They're going to like, comment, and subscribe.
Please do. Erwin, what are we reviewing?
Paddington in Peru.
My boy, Paddington.
He is not related to you. My pal.
My best.
My pal.
My best.
What?
My second best friend.
Okay.
And my role model and everything that I look up to.
He's my number one best friend.
Paddington Bear. He's the coolest dude around.
Yeah. He's the reason why I eat marmalade.
I love marmalade. I'd actually because my grandma had been giving me marmalade when I was younger, but it was Splenda, so it wasn't that good. But then I went and got preserves, and then that was even better.
Yeah.
But marmalade's good. I see where he's coming from.
Not from marmalade, from Peru.
No, from Peru. He is Latino. And that's the sickest thing about him. And
Latinx?
That's Latinx, yeah. That's kind of part of the point of this movie, isn't it?
The Latin community doesn't like Latinx.
Yeah, we are the Latin community.
I don't give a fuck about it.
But that's part of the point, actually, of this movie is about...
I'm not caring about Latinx.
No, getting your passport and being an immigrant in a different country. And you're like, huh, cool. But...
Hey, I have a question. He's from Peru, right?
Uh-huh.
So there's going to be a certain type of accent that they would have.
But he's British?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Explain.
He was sent to the...
But he had a British accent before. Make it make sense.
I don't know. He's just played by Ben Whishaw.
Because I was like, huh.
Would you want him to sound like Antonio Banderas?
He's Mexican.
I thought he was Spaniard.
I thought he was Mexican.
I don't know. Because
I don't know. He's definitely not Peru.
He's not Peruvian. Yeah.
No.
But anyway, everything we review will always have full spoilers. And I mean, what are we going to spoil about?
Paddington, he was a good guy again.
That Olivia Colman was a bad guy, I guess, the whole time. But what did you... Hang on. What did you think of the first two movies?
I love the first two movies. Yeah. I think while watching the first Paddington movie, I just didn't expect to genuinely fall in love, not with just the movie itself, but the character Paddington.
Yeah.
And seeing him with the trench coat and the red hat... genuinely, he was the reason. I remember, after watching that movie, I would buy just my bread and then some marmalade. Yeah. Just because of watching Paddington. And just having, oh, look, I'm going to put it on my hat. In my hat.
Yeah, no, every time he does it, I'm like, he's such a silly guy.
Well, because it makes sense. You just never know when you're going to need it.
Yeah, and then, no, he even says that in the second one?
Yeah.
But, let's be honest here. The first one's amazing.
Yes. And
the second one, for all the jokes, for all the memes... about it being one of the best movies ever made. Let's just be transparent. It's one of the best movies ever made.
Best trilogy.
It's no, this is also one of the most consistent trilogies for sure. Sure, I'm kind of ruining my thoughts a little bit here. It's probably, to me, it's about as good as the first one. Mm-hmm. But I love these, especially because of Paddington Bear himself and all the goofy things he gets up to. But
charismatic.
Yeah, but everyone around him is also amazing in these.
Yeah, that's true. And all the side characters in all the last three movies have been great.
Yeah. But before we get into this movie itself, with this, did you love it? Did you hate it? Or
why would you even ask me this?
Are you somewhere between?
I loved it.
Yeah.
Did you?
I loved it. Of course I did. Why would I not?
I don't know. Unless you have a reason.
I don't have a reason.
Good, because I love this movie too.
Yeah. There's so much to just praise about it. It was I think, I had one critique, but that's about it. But I thought this all...
The El Dorado didn't have gold?
No, liquid gold, because it was marmalade. You're yes.
This is nothing like the animated movie.
I stood up and clapped.
El Dorado.
I love that movie.
The music in that movie, El Dorado, is so good. I was actually listening to that song,
really?
El Dorado.
I just remember
Elton John.
I just remember them playing that game that they would play in that one scene. Where they're trying to it's that old school basketball looking game where they're trying to kick the ball into the hole in that one scene in that movie. And then there's that one guy that looks like David Spade.
Oh, yes. At first you were talking about Paddington in Peru. And I was like, dude, there was nothing in there. I was like, what are you talking about?
No, there was no. Dude, I'm getting ahead of myself. But whenever Olivia Colman's evil plan was, she just stole the grandma's glasses and she's like, I can't see.
She's like, no! Oh, I love when a bad guy is just bad.
Yeah. No, so all of these movies have like the super evil villain, like Nicole Kidman in the first one.
I hate bears.
Hugh,
it's so good.
Grant, who's in this movie,
yes,
very briefly at the end. I got so happy when they showed up, and I was like, whenever he's like, "This is all my like family and stuff."
Yes.
I was like, "Who's he talking to?" And I was like, "Is he talking to who I think he's talking to?" And sure enough,
that was great. But
no, I mean, it retains like what makes these work for you? Like that's really the question here.
I think what works for me, it reminds me of a lot about Winnie the Pooh, as well, and just like that family aspect, and it's very hopeful, and joyful too, and I don't know, it's just like how much impact not just like Paddington has like on me, but like the characters in the movie, as well, and just like showcases like how Paddington himself is able to overcome all these obstacles just for something, just to be helpful for others.
Mm-hmm. Also, I know people love these, but sometimes you do explain these to people, and they're like, it sounds like you're kind of like delusionally rambling.
Yes.
Because
or it sounds childish.
Yeah, because they're like, so why do you like these? And I think already, let's just not discredit kids' movies, right? Especially when they're like this, where I once showed these to my friends, Aaron and Dakota, and Aaron was like, I was apprehensive to watch these because I thought they were just kids' movies, but no, they are movies made for really anyone can just watch these.
Yes. Like,
sure, there's like one or two risque jokes where like an adult will get it whenever he was like this one has one whenever he's like, not while the kids are here or whatever with the anteater, which by the way, that's my like one critique. That's
not enough anteaters?
No, that's not Sally Hawkins.
Oh, no. Because I thought the same thing, too. I was like, why does she look so different from the other movies? And I'm like, this isn't the same person that was in the other two. And that's when I looked it up afterwards. I was like, oh, yeah, it's Sally Hawkins. I don't know. They didn't say why, right?
She was facing a health concern, I think. And Paul King also isn't back for this one because he was doing Wonka at the time.
Wonka was great, guys.
It was great. It's also, it does fit. It's kind of funny because this one still fits into like it feels like the other two.
Yes.
But Wonka also feels like it belongs in this sort of like world. So if you want a sort of adjacent feeling movie and you haven't seen Wonka, it's amazing.
What is Paul King doing after this? Or he's doing something. Is it? I know it's not Wonka. Is it Wonka 2?
Probably.
But there was something else.
I feel like he would go back to Paddington, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But the reason why I feel like these work so well is they are about something. And the first one was sort of about, it's kind of definitely more emphasized here because the first one was just about him moving to London and then trying to find a family. You could say that it's a sort of metaphor for adoption, maybe. The second one's about prison reform. It is about like, it's also about like getting better and spreading hope throughout there, because the guy from I know that everybody in the UK movies is from Harry Potter, but, you know,
if you're British and you're also part of the Harry Potter universe as
no, because whenever I saw Imelda Staunton's name, every time I see her I'm like, is that Molly Weasley?
Yeah.
And sure enough, yeah, it is. Who's really funny in this, by the way. But this one is, I thought that people were joking about this because we're at this kind of late. No, this is very transparently about like being from two different places and what you call home, and identifying with two separate cultures in your life, which is like
being basically, it's like if you were interracial.
Yeah. So good on you, Paddington.
Paddington. What bear am I? That makes sense.
Yeah, like, am I a man or am I a Muppet?
Oh, like that song is so good.
It is so good. What did you love about this one specifically?
I think what I loved about this one was more so learning about Paddington's past.
Yeah.
And just seeing him eager to know. Either just like, it kind of reminded me of how Kung Fu Panda 2 was.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, like just him trying to figure out, like, without the action scenes, I guess. I mean, there's some. There's a
couple. He uses an umbrella pretty well.
There was like a Temple of Doom reference in there too.
Yeah, they reference also Antonio Banderas was in that most recent Indiana Jones for no reason, but like,
oh really?
Yeah, he's barely in it. He's just on a boat.
Oh, and he's also on a boat in this one.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, either way, I just think that just like him, like in his past and everything as well, like getting to know more about it and realizing where he's from, and then like also like seeing him connect to his aunt as well. That was great.
So I was sort of not let down. I was kind of like surprised that they did the him separated from his aunt thing again, but then I was like, oh, is this one of those like silly Paddington things that he gets up to where his aunt just always going missing? And because that happens in the second one too.
Yeah, but like I'm kind of glad though in this one it wasn't that again.
Yeah.
It was just because the nun turned out to be evil.
So funny.
And she like took her glasses away and pushed her off a boat. I can't see without my glasses. I felt sad.
That was so funny.
I was like, oh my god.
Like, what is she gonna do? Where is she gonna go?
No, my favorite was for sure whenever she was like, I hate bears.
She's like, there's mangy. She's like, how rude. So I busted out laughing whenever it's home for a retired polar bears.
And she's like, no. Oh, that was good.
Yeah, these movies are awesome. One thing to say is, yes, these movies have an aesthetic to it that does remind me a lot of Wes Anderson.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah, they are so charming. The production design is crazy. I'm going to compliment you, British people. I know we have some people from the UK that listen to us.
Thank you, guys.
This is the first time, like,
send
with these
movies.
Candy. No, I don't.
I like candy.
We don't have a P.O. box.
Oh.
We need to get one of those if you're people.
I have a P.O.O.P. box.
Huh?
A poop box.
That's P-O-O-P. You said pop. You spelled P-O-P.
Oh, pop?
Yeah.
I don't have a pop box. I have a P-O-O-P box.
That's true.
Poop box.
Everybody does. But.
Yeah, it comes out of it there.
Anyway. I really like the neighborhoods that the British people have.
Dude, we were barely in London.
I know, in this one in particular.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they went to Peru or not, actually.
Some shots were in Peru, but most of it was shot in like the Amazon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They even said that the Amazon was large in this. But I liked how much the family had to do in this one. Mm-hmm. They're definitely in it more than they are in the other two.
Yeah.
But I liked what's his name? The one that's... I don't understand why because Hayley Atwell's British.
Yes.
Why did they give her...
Well, she was supposed to be American citizen.
Just hearing her with the American accent tripped me out because she's never been American in anything else.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And then these movies that are made, from the UK, they did that. So I don't know. Huh. I was wondering though, like the whole risk-taking thing. I was like, is this supposed to be an inside fourth wall meta thing to like Mission Impossible or something like that?
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah. But she was just in one. Like she's only been in one of them. So
I also like that aspect though too, because I know they do in the other movies as well, where how every individual character has like some type of obstacle or like some type of like what's it called, like hill that they need to overcome, and like how the dad needs to like take a risk. The mom wanting to have like that one last family moment together, like on the couch. Yeah. And then like the son being able to like basically get out of his room and like apply himself. Yeah. And then the daughter, what was it, like her...
She was just going to college. She
was
like,
it, right?
Yeah, she's like, I'm documenting my travel log. She didn't really have a whole lot.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Like, she was doing good.
Yeah, she was fine the whole time. She was like, I got to submit this college application.
Yeah, I get it. That's stressful.
It is stressful. I remember whenever fucking... This is random, but like the Spider-Man 2, Miles Morales, and I was like, you've been stressing over a 500-word essay for like half this game? It's totally off topic, but I remember being mad about that. I was like...
It'll take me 2 minutes.
It would take me 2 minutes.
It would take you 2 minutes, dude. Not me.
You're like...
It's been 2 hours.
Why do I want to be...
Why do I want to own a poop box?
Why is Paddington Bear my... role model?
Why is Paddington Bear Erwin's first best friend and not his second?
Rude. That dude's awesome. Paddington Bear? Yeah. But no, that's another thing. Whenever people like ask you, why do you like these or why do you like this one? Part of it for me, and I feel like I sound like I'm joking when I say this, but I'm really not. These movies are really, really good. Just role model type of movies. They are the perfect movies to show kids for a whole lot of reasons. And
because I don't want to be showing my kid movies that I think are bad.
Yeah,
just bad quality,
bad movies, like just bad kids movies, right?
Yes.
Because they're gonna watch anything. I don't want to watch like, Continental Drift, the fourth Ice Age movie.
That was good. That was funny. I don't know why. That was very specific.
Because
the first Ice Age movie I love.
1, 2, 3's good.
I've seen the second one. I don't think I've seen the fourth one for sure.
Bad.
I don't remember the third one. Is the third one with Drake? Like as a mammoth? Or is it the fourth one? You remember?
Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
The third one's the Dawn of the Dinosaurs one.
Okay, so it probably is the third one.
No, maybe, I don't know.
Is it the third or the fourth one?
I'll look it up after this.
Okay.
But oh my
right?
god, I'm imagining Drake as a mammoth. They probably made it look like him. But
yeah, we'll look it up after.
I also really like the random villain performance that are in all of these. Like,
yes.
Antonio Banderas is really funny in this movie, and reminded me a lot of. I forgot he was in this. I had an epiphany earlier. He was in the SpongeBob movie, the second one.
Oh, yes.
As another dude on a boat.
Dude, I forgot about that.
So I don't know what his very specific thing is about being in kids' movies and being on boats.
Hey, it works for him.
But it does work for him. And I really like how he plays up his kind of like persona that he has. Yeah. They call him handsome like a million times in this movie.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting because this is the first time I've seen one of his things where I'm like, oh my god, he is showing his age a little bit.
Oh, really? I feel like he's been showing his age for years now.
Really?
Yeah.
This is the first time I ever thought it. But, yeah. I mean, that's not exactly a critique.
Yeah, that's not really much a critique.
But I really also liked that this clearly had... This one was more... They're all adventure-y, but this one is very like, oh, we're going out into the world. We're going to like go and do this thing.
Yeah. And
I really liked all of the Amazon-looking stuff. Like the temple and stuff was awesome.
Yeah, the temple stuff was great. I like how they utilized, like, I think it was a llama? Not llamas. Was it llamas?
Bear.
No. Like the animals from Peru.
Oh, yeah.
Was it
whenever he makes a sandwich and uses the umbrella to make it go forward.
Yeah. What are they? Are they alpacas? Llamas?
I think so. I'm going to say alpaca for now.
Okay.
But I did notice that now that he's got his titular umbrella, that...
Dude, that umbrella is awesome.
Yeah. I love this, like, ongoing bit that every time it opened, it, like, basically like, blew people back.
Yeah.
And I just knew it. I knew at some point that rascal was going to, like...
That rascal?
This is how I talk about the Terrifier movies. Like, that silly dude. But, like, with Paddington, like, he's up to something again. Because the dad is always, like... I noticed that they give the dad a whole lot to do in all of these.
Yes.
In the second one,
because he doesn't want to do it. That's the thing.
Which is why you're like, this is so funny.
Because he doesn't want to do this. Take the picture.
That made me laugh. No, and then like in Paddington 2, for example, I think it's in the second one. Mm-hmm. Whenever they break into something and he's like dressed as a lady.
Oh, I think it is the second one.
Yeah. And then he's like trying to charm whoever that is.
Yeah.
And that scene's so funny. And then in this one, they... what is it? Why am I blanking? What does he do in this one? Because I thought it was funny. I mean, they basically just have him out doing stuff the whole time.
Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to think what he did in this one.
Because they just have him very specifically in a bunch of situations. Yeah. I couldn't help it, though. Every time Emily Mortimer was on screen as not Sally Hawkins, I was like, you're not Sally Hawkins. And
yeah, I don't know. I think she still did a good job, though, just, like, showcasing, like, that warm semblance of a mother figure, too.
It's just hard for me to separate, and I can ask you this now, because it does take place within the context of this movie, and maybe I could have asked it whenever we did Captain America. Mm-hmm. But how often does it bother you when somebody's recast in a role that's already been seen multiple times?
I think the casting is bad when the movie itself is bad.
Yeah.
Because I think that's when it starts bothering me. But if the movie itself was good, I don't think the casting of it would be terrible as well.
For me, it just doesn't work if the performance is not as good. Mm-hmm. And obviously if the movie's bad, then of course you're going to be like, well,
the casting was also bad.
Like The Witcher, naturally.
I haven't seen The Witcher. But I love Henry Cavill, so I don't.
But okay, but imagine...
And I don't like Liam Hemsworth.
Yeah, I'm going to say imagine
because
Henry Cavill.
He hurt Miley Cyrus.
This was years ago.
I don't care. I'm still upset.
You're mad about, are you still mad about Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber? It's like a decade ago.
And that doesn't matter. Okay, continue.
I can't wait to talk about Amelia Perez. Erwin's going to watch that, putting that on the...
We're both, yeah.
Yeah, I've already seen it.
Okay.
But anyway... Is there anything
I'm a
else?
Selena fan until I die.
It's a bold statement.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that stood out to you in this that you really liked?
No. That's it. I don't know, it's like genuinely all 3 of these movies are great.
Yeah, they are. I mean, like, people think you're bullshitting them until you're like, can you watch them? Like, please, just like actually, and then they do, and they're like, oh my god.
Yeah, like I don't understand like how you can leave this movie without feeling any type of happiness from it. At the end I started to cry.
I cried. Yes, I cried. Because I was gonna ask you that.
Yes. Yeah. Just because I thought like, oh well, he's gonna ask to stay.
No, because whenever the way they do it, I'm like, this is so rude.
Dude, I was just like, oh, I can't. But then he's like, no, I want to go back in with you guys. And I'm like, oh, and so I still cried even. And
then he's like, as a legal citizen of the UK. I can have 2 homes. It is a very Hispanic thing to do, by the way, to invite like 15 of your family members into someone else's home.
Guys, I'm telling you, your patience gets better and better with that kind of stuff.
Yeah. No, so whenever they were like, I thought that was hilarious. It's like, gee, this is the most, like, they're all bears, but this is so true to life.
Like, I can't.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't really know what they're setting up with a 4th one. Like, I didn't really take that as like, we're setting up the Hugh Grant, like.
I didn't think that, like, they were gonna make a 4th one or anything.
I didn't think that this one was gonna happen. I didn't think that there would be a 3rd one.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think so either.
I also love that I'm pretty sure the opening of this movie is an Amelie reference, but because I just saw that movie kind of recently, and the whole thing he was doing at the beginning reminded me so much of that. But do you have any negatives?
No, not really.
I feel like the only thing I can say is the opening parts felt like a little like trying to find its steps a little bit to get to Peru.
I can see it just because of the new director and everything. But, I mean, it was kind of similar to how the second one was too. It didn't open it that same way.
It kind of opened with the like, I'm in the UK, and then he's like, I've been framed, I'm going to prison.
I've been framed, I'm going to prison.
Prove my innocence.
I love that one account was, I don't know if it's on Instagram or Twitter, where Paddington is just like in different like stills from different movies.
That's I believe that account is called Jay the Chow, where they put him into different stuff every day.
That's amazing.
I love that account. Yeah, but Paddington's my boy. And like I said, I actually do genuinely find that these movies are really good to show. Like if you're like randomly an adult and you're like, I have kids, and
I have kids now.
Yeah, and I don't know what to show them. They've been watching Cocomelon for like.
I'm tired of Cocomelon.
Yeah, and that does get repetitive.
Yeah,
I highly recommend these. I love them, and I do think that genuinely there are so many good messages in these movies. Anyway, even for adults, like it reminds you to. I'm surprised he didn't say it again in this.
Which one? Matters maketh man.
No, that's
Kingsman.
Oh, could you imagine him in Kingsman? He'd be like, oh dear. That'd be awesome. If you're kind and polite, the world will be right. I love that so much.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. That was a good line.
I think about it all the time. It's like one of the life mottos. It was like my Instagram bio handle thing for a while.
What happened?
Or I changed it to something from the bear. Different thing with the bear. But that was every second counts.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, overall, what'd you think of this? And what's your score?
I love this movie. 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5?
Yeah. I just think, I don't know, with all these 3 movies, I like to put them as a one whole, to be perfectly honest. I really hope they don't make a 4th one, because just in case, I wouldn't want the quality to go down, just because I love all these movies.
You have me wanting to change my score because I didn't really have any flaws with it either. And also, why would I give this? I gave the first one. It's funny. I did this exact same thing with the first one. I gave it 4.5 out of 5. And then I was like, why'd I do that? And then I gave it a 5 out of 5. And the second one, I was like, this has always been perfect. And you know what? Same thing here. The only thing I would say is this is going to be a really random comparison is like the quality difference for me would probably be equivalent to like how I feel about The Dark Knight to The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But even then, even with this 3rd one, it doesn't feel so different from the other 2.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm like, quality-wise, no. I mean, of course, there's a favorite one.
Yes.
Always.
Number 2, always.
The second one is second one is the best one still, but like the 3rd one, it's still as good as the first one.
Yeah.
So
No, I love this. Also, you know what? Yeah, 5 out of 5. You know what? First one of the year. Is that crazy?
Nice. It's Paddington.
Yeah, it's Paddington 3. Why would it not be? Paddington goes to Peru. Where do you think he's gonna go next?
To America.
What do you want to? I don't.
Watch him eat a
hot dog. That's the first thing I thought of. Yeah.
Why a hot dog? I would say like a cheeseburger.
You think he'd put marmalade on it? That'd be funny.
He would.
Could you imagine?
And he goes to a Tumble 22, puts on.
And then he's like, I think this would be better with this. And then everybody in the restaurant's like,
oh, he came with
no, and then he's the chef of a restaurant for some reason. And then,
Gordon Ramsay yells at him.
And then Jeremy Allen White shows up and he's like, hey, I'm the other bear. And then he's like,
dude, that's good. Write it down. Copyright that.
Like, hey, excuse me, Paul King.
Okay, Paddington, but the bear.
He'd probably be so stressed out. He'd make everything worse. And then they fire him.
Yeah, I can see that.
Could you imagine that happening? I'm surprised that's not a skit. This feels like something that would be at the MTV Awards.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah.
Or like something with... No, yeah, just MTV.
Hey, you have to pay us if anybody comes up with that idea.
Dude, what? Guys, we'd be honored to get the credit.
That too. Yeah, a co-writing credit.
Because we have manners like Paddington.
Yeah, that's true. We'll give the stern stare that he gives. No, a hard stare.
What is he doing?
Erwin.
Okay.
What's up next?
The Oscars.
The Oscars, that's going to be coming out, Tuesday?
Yes.
We're going to try and watch
all the
as much
pictures
collectively together as possible.
Yes.
Because I still have some stuff. I've seen some stuff outside of the Best Picture nominees also that we'll touch on. It's going to be a kind of like collection of reviews. If you want to know what we're talking about, listen to our one from last year. And it'll be like that. And we'll also critique if anything happened that was interesting because we're going to watch the whole thing.
Yeah. It's on Sunday night, right?
Uh-huh.
Dang. Okay. At what time?
Probably
it's like 9 or 10.
7.
No, they always say it's like, it starts at 7. But like the actual Oscars is like 8:30 or 9.
And then they make jokes about like, this has been going on for so long. I'm like, yeah, because you keep making jokes about it. Me yelling at the TV. Jimmy Kimmel's like, I'm so funny.
Who's hosting this year?
Conan O'Brien, which is why I think it will actually be good.
Okay.
Because he knows about movies.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Now we'll see what happens.
What are they going to do?
They're going to like, comment, and subscribe.
Please do. What did you guys think of Paddington Goes to Peru? Goes to Peru?
He goes to Peru.
Yeah, he does. But is that what it's called? Or is it Paddington in Peru?
No, Paddington in Peru.
Paddington in Peru, and he did go there. What did you guys think of it? We loved it, clearly. And... see the bear side thing there. There's a bear thing up there.
Bear side.
Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Bear with us for more stuff soon.
Bananas.
Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. We will see you later.